in the headlines of this hour on VTV News. Vietnam and Spain agree to upgrade a strategic partnership. And U.S. President announces 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs. Vietnam Air Force practices flag flight to celebrate National Reunification Day.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trần with the top stories. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính hosted a solemn welcoming ceremony for Spanish counterpart Pedro Sanchez on Wednesday at the start of his official visit to Vietnam. And following the ceremony, the two prime ministers held crucial talks. More in the following.
Welcoming his Spanish counterpart, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính affirmed the significance of the first visit by the head of the Spanish government since the two countries established diplomatic relations in 1977. The Vietnamese Prime Minister expressed his wish to deepen cooperation with Spain and elevate the two countries' relationship to a new level. In response, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez congratulated Vietnam on its economic achievement and affirmed that Vietnam is one of Spain's top priority partners in ASEAN. The two prime ministers discussed major cooperation initiatives to promote effective bilateral relations in open and friendly atmosphere. The two sides agreed to increase delegation exchanges and contacts, especially at senior levels.
The two countries have reached important cooperation agreements and shared valuable experiences in national development. Both sides have expressed a high level of consensus on global affairs. We have agreed to cooperate to promote peace, cooperation, and development, especially amid the unstable global context. Therefore, international solidarity and multilateral promotion are more crucial than ever.
Vietnam currently holds an important place in Asia and has achieved stable economic growth, an impressive over 7% growth figure in 2024. With this growth, I believe Vietnam will achieve its goal of becoming a high-income country by the middle of the century. Spain will continue to support and accompany Vietnam.
After the summit, the two prime ministers witnessed the signing of diplomacy, finance, culture, sports, agriculture, and education cooperation agreements, followed by a joint press meeting.
And also on Wednesday, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez had a meeting with other Vietnamese top leaders. More to follow.
Highlighting the significance of the first ever visit by a head of the Spanish government since the establishment of diplomatic ties, the party General Secretary To Lam believed that the visit will serve as a catalyst to elevate the bilateral strategic partnership to a new height, fostering prosperity and mutual benefits for both nations, while contributing to peace, cooperation, and development in the region and the world. Spanish Prime Minister Sanchez, in response, highly valued Vietnam's role and position in the region and the world, and expects to upgrade the bilateral ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership.
Welcoming Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and the high-level Spanish delegation, President Lung Kung praised the significance of the visit, the first by a head of the Spanish government since the two countries established diplomatic ties. He expressed his confidence that the visit will usher in a new chapter in the bilateral relations, thus developing the Vietnam-Spain strategic partnership in a more substantive and effective manner. Prime Minister Sanchez reaffirmed that Vietnam is one of Spain's top priority partners in Southeast Asia and agreed on the need to elevate the bilateral ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership.
Vietnam is willing to act as a bridge to promote relations between the Spanish Parliament and the ASEAN Interparliamentary Assembly. National Assembly Chairman Truong Thanh Mun told visiting Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez at their meeting in Hanoi on April 9th. highlighting the significance of Prime Minister Sanchez's visit, the first by a head of the Spanish government since the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries. The National Assembly chairman expressed his confidence that it will serve as a major impetus, opening up a new chapter for the Vietnam-Spain strategic partnership.
Vietnam is moving forward with nationwide restructuring through the streamlining of administrative units. The streamlining involves boundary adjustments and efforts to boost regional development.
Since becoming a centrally governed municipality in 1997, Da Nang has developed rapidly but now shows signs of stagnation. Party General Secretary To Lam noted its GRDP ranked 17th nationwide, contributing just 1.2 to 1.5% to the national total.
The regional connectivity role of Da Nang City, particularly with Quang Nam Province and the broader central region, has yet to be fully leveraged. 6 of Quang Nam Province's districts still face hardships. Da Nang could leverage its strength in supporting these neighboring localities.
Each province has its own economic zone, yet the central region remains underdeveloped. Local boundaries continue to limit growth potential.
The merging of localities will allow broader, more methodological and successful planning.
Ha Tây Province merged with Hanoi 17 years ago. This decision's effectiveness has provided valuable lessons for the current administrative reorganization of provinces and localities.
There were many concerns about the merger between Ha Tây Province and Hanoi. However, the result is clear and measurable. Its development space now serves as a driving force for the current capital region.
Successful implementation of mergers relies heavily on the capabilities and shared commitment of all personnel. While leadership plays a crucial role, progress is unlikely if the broader team does not move in step.
Commune-level administrative mergers are set to conclude by June 30th, with provincial-level mergers to follow by August 30th. This restructuring aims to unlock local opportunities, enhance administrative efficiency, and bring more tangible benefits to communities.
Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Chí Dũng attended the 14th Annual Investment Conference in the United Arab Emirates UAE from Monday to Wednesday. The event welcomed over 20,000 delegates from more than 100 countries, including heads of state and global leaders. And at the event, the Deputy Prime Minister highlighted Vietnam's priority to attract high-quality FDI in strategic sectors such as infrastructure, technology, innovation, digital transformation, semiconductors, AI, and so on. He reaffirmed the Vietnamese government's commitment to supporting international investors, including those from UAE, in fostering sustainable and effective cooperation. Now shifting to an international focus, U.S. President Donald Trump announced a complete 3-month pause on all reciprocal tariffs that went into effect at midnight on Wednesday, Vietnam time. And in a social media post, the U.S. president stated that Washington would pause tariffs for over 75 countries and territories currently engaged in trade negotiations with the United States. However, the 10% retaliatory tariff rate will remain in place. In addition, the U.S. president has raised tariffs on China to a total of 125%. All new tariff rates take effect immediately. The positive news from Washington spurred a strong rally in the stock markets. Major Wall Street indexes surged, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average rising nearly 8%, the S&P 500 climbing more than 9.5%, and the Nasdaq posting the biggest gain, soaring over 12%. And in a related development, U.S. tariff for China remains in place, prompting China to release a white paper asserting it will take firm measures to protect its economic interests. Premier Li Qiang stated that China is ready to handle external shocks and has sufficient policy tools. In response to market instability, Chinese regulators have raised investment limits for insurance funds, while the central bank pledged financial support for businesses if needed. Several state-owned firms have also announced stock buybacks to stabilize the market. Escalating actions from Washington and Beijing intensify tensions between the world's two largest economies, and experts warn that continued high U.S. tariffs could severely damage or even break bilateral trade relations. Now, before the U.S. latest announcement to delay tariff imposition, EU member states held a meeting deciding on retaliatory tariffs on Wednesday. They voted on imposing tariffs of up to 25% on U.S. goods in response to American tariffs on EU steel and aluminum. The move faces mixed opinions within the EU, with some urging caution to avoid escalating a trade war. The proposed tariffs target a wide range of U.S. imports, including agricultural products like soybeans, poultry and fruit, and industrial goods like motorcycles, plastics, and electronics. This marks the beginning of a broader counter-strategy, with future disputes expected over the auto industry and wider EU exports. Italy's Prime Minister will meet U.S. President Donald Trump on April 17th to discuss the issue. Coming up next on VTV News. Lego opens second largest factory in Vietnam. And later on, our first television cultural industry theme forum opens in Vĩnh Long.
When it comes to business, it's crucial to choose a smart location with global impact. And Vietnam might just be the location for you. Connect worldwide to advanced logistics networks. Smart hub for technology and innovation. A dynamic business ecosystem. An environment with a competitive edge.
Welcome back to VTV News. Now, Lego has inaugurated its second largest global factory in Bình Dương, Vietnam, with an investment of over $1 billion. Spanning 44 hectares, the facility runs on solar energy, with 2/3 of the site dedicated to green space and aims for zero landfill waste. Deputy Prime Minister Mai Văn-Chính praised Lego's eco-friendly approach and encouraged partnerships with local firms and community programs. The factory, at Lego's 6th globally, is expected to employ around 4,000 people. Television and cultural industry is the theme of the first Mekong Forum on Science, Technology, Innovation and Digital Transformation, which kicked off Wednesday morning in Vĩnh Long Province. The Provincial Party Committee and Vietnam Television jointly organized the forum. About 250 delegates, experts, and managers at the forum analyzed digital transformation trends in the television and cultural industry. And the aim was to find solutions to apply digital technology to production and search for digital content, contributing to promoting a sustainable digital economy. Hanoi has recently expanded its network of online public service support agencies to make essential administrative procedures more accessible and efficient for residents. The city has opened nearly 500 new outlets that offer free assistance with 31 essential administrative services through digital platforms. And this initiative aims to reduce congestions at administrative centers while improving the quality of online public services.
Rather than shopping for electronics, Dat Nguyen, a resident of Dong Da district, visited a nearby store to get help renewing his driver's license through the online service. In the past month, the store has helped approximately 300 people with similar requests.
The staff are highly skilled in navigating digital procedures. I'm very satisfied.
Most of the public service support requests we handle are for the driver's license renewals and business registration.
Residents can now seek assistance at Vinaphone agencies, VN Post and Viettel Post offices, eliminating the need to travel long distances to administrative centers.
Being able to access public services so close to home is a huge convenience. It saves costs and time.
To support telecom and postal staff in the new role, An online team now provides real-time assistance.
When we first started offering public services, it was quite unfamiliar. But with the online support team, we can chat with our customers immediately while assisting them at the counter.
Residents who visit these centers will continue receiving free assistance and can opt for home delivery of their administrative documents.
Turning to a more concerning matter, false and misleading online advertising has become a growing issue on social media. And this past week, 2 online influencers, Guangling Vlogs and Hang Zumup, were prosecuted and temporarily detained for deceiving customers. And to address this, authorities have taken tough measures to restore order in online sales, triggering changes in consumers' and influencers' behavior.
These are clips of apologies from several influencers, including Phan Bảo Long, also known as Chuka Review, who have acknowledged their mistakes. All came forward to apologize for exaggerating the benefits of Kera vegetable candy, with some apologizing directly to the authorities.
Many KOLs and KOCs think that if their ads are wrong, they will simply apologize and move on. However, now that they have realized the legal consequences, they become more cautious and selective when choosing which products to endorse.
Many people trust and buy their advertised products because of their large fan base and strong media influence. But after recent violations, I've become more careful about the quality of the products.
Now, a few penalties are being enforced to set an example. However, fully implemented, public opinion will be the harshest punishment for celebrities.
According to the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, stricter legal measures will be accompanied by new policies limiting violators' visibility.
We need to increase the penalties. In addition to fines, violators should be banned from participating in business or advertising for a specific period of time.
Violations such as the Kera vegetable candy incident are not only a wake-up call, but also an opportunity to redefine market standards. Tech platforms must develop better filtering tools, and consumers must be careful. This promises a positive shift in Vietnam's online advertising standards.
In other news, after a gap of 46 years, a sight of light yellow mud bursting through the ground suddenly reoccurred in Dong Xuân District, Phie Province. On Wednesday morning, a Department of Agriculture and Environment team surveyed the site of the mud eruption. By then, the mud was being thrown to a greater height than when it first erupted. The mud from the pit is traveling northward in a 60-meter wide flow, and 4 deep cracks in the ground have also appeared. There are people living in houses from 10 to 30 meters from the eruption site. Coming up next on VTV News. Flag flight to celebrate National Reunification Day. And first baby born in the UK to a woman with transplanted womb. Now switching gears to a more positive update, Hanoi's Department of Culture and Sports hosted a talk Wednesday morning to honor historical witnesses. And this is part of the events celebrating the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification. The talk offered a moment of reflection on wartime memories and paid tribute to those who sacrificed for national unity. In addition, a special exhibition featuring valuable photos, documents, and artifacts was also opened. Notable items include a letter written in blood by a young soldier, stories of female railway workers, wartime diaries, as well as personal belongings and weapons, all shedding light on wartime struggles and the fighting spirit of the Vietnamese people. And among the most breathtaking and eagerly awaited highlights of the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification is the flag-raising maneuver. And the Vietnam Air Force is conducting a rehearsal for the performance at Bien Hoa Airport. Let's take a look.
Regiment 917 pilots have undergone intensive training, and they are determined to showcase the skill and professionalism of the Vietnam People's Air Force at the national celebration.
It's a great honor for me. I've been practicing my skills and can confidently perform this duty.
The Air Force considers being assigned to perform the demonstration flight a great honor and a solemn responsibility.
As the plan was issued, we recognized the significance of the mission. All units and forces mobilized promptly, ensuring thorough preparation of personnel, equipment, and resources.
Technical precision is paramount in preparing pilots and flight plans. Every aircraft, component, and system is inspected before each takeoff to ensure synchronization and safety.
We conduct meticulous equipment checks, promptly identifying issues to guarantee absolute flight safety.
The flight demonstrates the disciplined strength, unyielding spirit, and combat capabilities of the Vietnam People's Army.
And in one of our international headlines, Japan released its 2025 Diplomatic Blue Book on Tuesday, outlining last year's global developments and Tokyo's foreign policy stance. The report stretches that security in Europe and the Middle East and the Indo-Pacific is deeply connected. Japan reaffirms its commitment to a free, rules-based international order. The Blue Book highlights Southeast Asia as a key maritime and growth hub, pledging deeper cooperation in AI, digital tech, energy, and workforce development. It also emphasizes stronger ties with the U.S. under President Trump. It revives its goal of a mutually beneficial relationship with China. India is reaffirmed as a vital partner, sharing core values and strategic interests. And in a more uplifting story, after undergoing surgery nearly 2 years ago, Grace Davison, 36 years old from North London, has become the first woman in the UK to give birth using a womb donated by her sister. More in the following.
Amy Isabel, daughter of Grace Davidson, was born via caesarean section on February 27th. This marks the first time a baby has been born in the UK following a womb transplant, a major milestone in medical science and a beacon of hope for thousands of women born without a uterus or who lost theirs due to illness.
And it's like an innate thing. I just couldn't satisfy that through other ways, and yeah, it's just brought me immense joy.
Amy's middle name honors the lead surgeon, while her first name is a tribute to the woman who made her birth possible, her mother's sister, Amy Purdy. Over 100 womb transplants have been performed worldwide.
This is not life-saving. However, it is a transplant that is totally life-enhancing, life-transforming, and of course, life-creating. And that is magnificent.
Resulting in the birth of more than 50 babies. For Grace Davidson's family, this was a breakthrough that allowed them to have their daughter, and they hope the procedure will help many more people in the future.
And medical wonders do not just exist overseas, but also here in Vietnam. The first ever kidney transplant surgery was performed in Quảng Ninh province on Tuesday night. More than 200 doctors and medical staff at Quảng Ninh Provincial Hospital and Vietnam Sweden Hospital carried out a kidney transplant for 2 patients with kidney failure. Experts from Việt Đức University Hospital supported the surgeries.
The 2 kidneys were harvested from a brain-dead donor at Việt Đức Friendship Hospital. The transplant recipients were 48-year-old man from Cẩm Phả and a 41-year-old woman from Quảng Yên, both suffering from an end-stage chronic kidney failure. At 3 p.m., the organ retrieval procedure began. By 4:30 p.m., the 2 kidneys were transported from Việt Đức University Hospital to Quảng Ninh Provincial Hospital and Vietnam Sweden Hospital. By 6:30 p.m., upon arrival, the doctors began the transplant procedures. After 2 hours, both surgeries were completed successfully with promising outcomes.
We planned every detail of the post-transplant care, specifying what needed to be done each day, including medications, monitoring, and nutrition for the patients.
The hospitals were equipped with modern facilities and advanced equipment. More than 100 doctors and medical staff were sent for training at Việt Đức Friendship Hospital and in Guangxi, China.
Our hospital currently has 200 dialysis patients, of whom 50 need kidney transplants, and 14 are in critical condition requiring urgent transplants. We plan to carry out the second transplant next week.
We have a roadmap to establish a provincial organ donation and transplantation advisory committee. In the future, we aim to perform transplants of other organs, such as the liver, heart, and lungs.
In addition to kidney transplant, Quảng Province also strives to become an organ donation center, enhancing awareness campaign and increasing the donor pool to save more lives.
And as usual, let's move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.